Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Zuko Chess Fun channel. In this video, I will discuss a very interesting chess game played between Magnus Carslen and Viswanathan Ananda. This game took place on January 29, 2014. Alright, let's dive into the game. Here Magnus Carslen plays as white and Viswanathan Ananda holds the black pieces. The game begins with knight to f3. Known as the ready opening. The basic idea behind this move is to prevent black from playing pawn to e5 to control the center of the board. Ananda responds with pawn to d4, and Magnus moves pawn to b3 to bring the bishop to square b2. The game continues with Ananda playing pawn to c5, and Magnus replying with pawn to e4 or Norfolk gambit. Ananda accepts the gambit and captures the pawn on e4, simultaneously threatening the knight. Magnus responds by moving the knight to g5, attacking the pawn again. Ananda defends the pawn with knight to f6. Magnus Carslen adds pressure with knight to c3. Ananda chooses not to continue defending the pawn with bishop to f5, as it would only increase Carslen's advantage in developing his pieces. Instead, Ananda opts for knight to c6. Magnus responds with bishop to c4, attacking the weak pawn on f7 and preparing for kingside castling. Ananda then puts his pawn to e6, opening up a path for the bishop and protecting the pawn on f7 from attacks along the diagonal of the white bishop. The game goes on with Carslen's bishop to b2 and Ananda's bishop to e7, preparing for kingside castling. The game continues with both players castling kingside. Magnus Carslen then captures the pawn on e4 with his knight. Ananda captures Carslen's knight, and then Carslen's knight recaptures on e4. At this point, a good move for black would be pawn to b6 to solidify the pawn structure and prepare bishop to b7, threatening the knight and the pawn on g2 behind it. However, Ananda plays pawn to e5 instead. This move allows Carslen to play pawn to f4, aiming to open the f-file for his rook. Carslen indeed plays pawn to f4, challenging the pawn on e5. Ananda captures the pawn with his pawn. Carslen delays capturing and instead moves his queen to h5, a brilliant idea to increase threats to the weakest area of Ananda's king. Ananda then moves his knight to e4, blocking the attack along the diagonal of the dark square bishop. Carslen then captures the pawn on f4 with his rook. White now has 4 active pieces attacking black's defense, while black appears to be less prepared to withstand white's onslaught. The game continues with pawn to g6, threatening the queen, and the queen moves to e5 to maintain the attack on black's kingside. Ananda plays pawn to b6 to protect his pawn. Carslen stays focused on the kingside, stacking rooks on f1. Ananda responds with bishop to f5. And Carslen replies with pawn to g4, threatening the bishop. Ananda's bishop retreats to e6. And then Carslen captures the bishop. Ananda's pawn captures the bishop. Carslen's rook captures Ananda's rook. Check. Ananda's bishop captures Carslen's rook. Carslen then plays knight to f6. Check. Ananda moves his king to h8. But why did Ananda move his king to the corner? Wouldn't it be better to move the king to f7 to maneuver towards the queenside? Let's analyze. If the king moves to f7, then the knight captures the pawn on h7, discovering check. If the king moves to g8, then the rook captures the bishop, check, and black's queen will also be lost. Or if the king stays on e7, then the rook still captures the bishop, threatening the queen. If the queen escapes, then the rook captures the rook, which would be very bad for black. Okay, back to the game. Anand moves his king to h8 and Carslen drives the knight away with pawn to c3. The knight then retreats to c6, simultaneously attacking the queen. Here Magnus Carslen makes a very special move, which is certainly unexpected. Do you know what move the world champion will make? Knight to e8, check, and Viswanathan Ananda resigns. Truly a brilliant move. If the game were to continue, and the knight captures the queen, then rook to f8 would be checkmate. Or if the knight does not capture the queen and moves the king to g8, then the beautiful sacrifice of the queen to h8 would be check. The king must capture the queen, and the rook to f8 would capture the bishop. Checkmate. Wow, amazing. This is truly a beautiful checkmate by Magnus Carslen. Alright friends, that's all for this video. I hope this video can motivate you more in your future chess games. And if you enjoy chess videos like this, please click like and subscribe to the Zuko Chess Fun channel so I can be more motivated to make more chess videos in the future. And if there are any mistakes in my words, I apologize. Greetings, chess lovers. Thank you.